A Friday edition of Barn Burner here in studio. It is myself and Mr. Pinder, and of course it's Friday, so it's Hawaiian shirt day.
Pineapples feels appropriate on this very tropical March 1st.
Yeah. Because pineapples mean something, right? When you,
I don't know. There's all kinds of stories.
Rhett, you know what that's about, right? The pineapples, you put them upside down or something like that.
I've heard of the rumors about pineapples. Just
Yeah.
be careful if you've asked for a pineapple drink.
Is that how it goes, really? I always thought it was lemon gin. That was the one that would really get things going, get the party started. What do we got today? So Retro is in town. He is remote right now.
Look at the haircut. He is looking slick.
I mean,
look at that. If it isn't the oldest rink in the NHL.
There it is.
God bless that old dump. It's beautiful.
Hey, it's Logan easy to get in and out of here too, apparently, like with traffic and stuff. It looks like it's...
I think now there's up to like a fifth of the streets around there are even open. So it's in and out.
Already Johnny is in here. He's wondering, did you go with the mullet? Because
yeah, show us the back.
Oh, she's tight. Yeah, it looks.
I was gonna go the full mohawk, but the guy goes, "That's for young people."
It's a shot.
Ah,
hey, prick, just cut the hair, all right? I
don't need the hair. Who's paying?
Commentary.
You do scissors, I'll do my life. Okay.
So is this unofficially day 3 of Kipper Palooza? Is it day 2? Where are we at?
Well, apparently they had a few the night on Wednesday night. I thought Wednesday night was
here. So, yeah, obviously.
It was quiet.
Not going out.
No, I thought it was quiet night and they weren't going to do anything, but apparently they did do something. And then last night was going to be quiet and it wasn't loud, but we just sat and bullshitted till 2. So
that's my kind of night. God, I love it.
So it's really it's more as tame as we kind of thought it might be. It wasn't going to be a rip snorting.
Oh yeah, it wasn't. There was no wild stories to be told. The wild stories were reminiscing about wild stories.
Yeah.
Remember when? Remember when?
Times. Yeah, it's good times. Social media, the Flames, they've been putting some stuff up. They had some photos from the fishing
with Curtis
that Kipper and Glenn Cross went on the other day. Didn't look like there was a lot of fish. There was a lot of sausage on that portable grill, but not a lot of fish.
Just the camaraderie. That's what it's about. Yeah.
What's like? Are they doing stuff for the kids, or are the kids just sitting in the hotel watching Oompa Loompas? I don't know what the kids do nowadays.
I don't know. I'm sure they are doing stuff with the kids. What Kipper told me too was, he stayed here after he retired when he retired for a couple of years, wasn't it?
Yeah. Didn't he have a place south of the city somewhere?
Yeah, that's where he had a place when he was playing. Anyway, his kids have friends. Like they're pumped to go see old friends and hang out and just do that stuff. So I actually think his oldest kid is coming to school here. He's got to do a year in the military and then and then he's going to come to school here.
It's all right.
He's got it all figured out already.
Yeah.
Oh, then Kipper will be following not long after.
He was playing, I think,
follow the kids.
Men's rec league is like a forward. And I remember hearing a bunch of guys being like, I looked up at this face off and I'm like, is that bleeping Kipper? Like he's not in net. Like, am I crazy here? But yeah, he was living life south of the city.
And I know
in
Finland, there's a lot of those, I don't know how much you believe it. Well, he bought a hockey league and he was on the Zamboni just cleaning the ice one night. And he's like the rink rat, just hanging out at the rink. I don't know what's true or what's fact or fiction.
It feels right though, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. That's the thing. But that's the thing. You could say, oh, he's driving a garbage truck down there. Oh, but he's just plowing snow. Anything that might sound odd for an NHLer in retirement.
He's a deep sea diver.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
First class sass.
He's a deep sea diver.
Does he like the scuba?
He's scuba's.
Is that right?
Scuba Steves.
Scuba Mika.
Yeah.
Do you now? Because I'm petrified of the sharks and stuff.
You didn't like that shark attack video we had yesterday?
No, I didn't. Was not fond of it. No. How are we for? Have you scuba? Did you?
Yeah.
And
I loved it. It was awesome. I think you need a second certification to go below 25 meters because that's when it's like if something goes sideways, you can't just go to the surface. You get the bends. You got to it's another layer of safety. But I went to Malaysia and scuba dived for a week. It was a thing with a girl, and she went down to do her little training. Couldn't clear her ears. It was like, looks like it's me and the instructor for a week.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. We saw a huge school with hundreds of barracuda, octopus, squid, like weird sharks. It was cool.
Yeah.
Little guys, nothing too scary.
I was in a cage with great whites, and I'll stay in the cage. Thank you.
Oh, South Africa, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did you feel totally safe? You were fine with it. You never.
There were things that, I mean, not totally safe. No.
Yeah.
Just don't put your hand through there. Yeah.
Don't stick your hand through. I always worried because you do see videos of those cages and not
Getting
holding
dummied.
up. They don't know that well.
They get their snout in there, and then they start going to work at it. It's like, oh fuck, this is no good. There's something about scuba when you go swimming, and it's like, here's a bunch of weights that we're gonna have to strap to you. Weights while I go swimming. I'm gonna go get it's all-inclusive resort. I think I'm just gonna go back by the.
How about those pineapples? Where are those pineapple
where
drinks?
Are those little pineapple drinks, straw in it? So have you? I'm looking for some name drops. Any surprise arrivals? Anyone that maybe?
No. Dion's coming in, I think, this morning.
Dion.
Yeah, Iggy was there last night, so got to chat with him. The GM, I saw him. No.
Here, your old partner.
Reg was there. Curtis was there. Stajan was there. There's no Commodore. No Commodore.
Is he coming? I'm not sure if he's.
I don't know if he is. I thought he would for sure.
Like he's coming. I'm like, I don't know. I hope he's coming.
No clue.
So to this point, it's been a bunch of old guys just kind of hanging around visiting.
Well, it has. I don't know what you're giggling like it's.
No, I love it. It's just, boy, because when this was all
this band
noodles
together,
you better get the IVs booked, man. Because when we come to town, whoopie doo.
Well, I did get an IV.
Yeah, well, but that's your thing. That's
I definitely got an IV.
Yeah.
Hey, I can tell you right now, I'm not feeling 100%. Like there wasn't a lot of wildness going on, but there were plenty of drinks being served.
You were contemplating the IV yesterday and a massage today, and I was like, you want to back that up and twist that around. You want the massage yesterday so you're feeling limber and good, and then the IV bag today to recover from the bevies. I hope you can straighten that out.
I'm going to do both days. So
I was going to say that's
probably true.
There's nothing
$25 million.
Nothing keeping him from doing both.
That's
right. The thing is, there's a game tomorrow. Haven't thought about the game itself once.
Really? Eh?
The Penguins, I don't know what the story is. How are the Flames going to do against the Penguins? Haven't thought about it. Haven't thought about it.
Yeah, normally we wax poetic about Sidney Crosby if there's 4 days between the Flames and then the Penguins and nothing. We haven't done that once.
Yeah, Crosby who? There's no one hanging out at the hotel trying to get a pick of Sid.
Sid?
Where's Mika?
Sid?
Where's Mika at? Still a weird scenario for Pittsburgh. They're not going to make the playoffs.
It don't look like it.
Right?
They need a heater.
They need a heater, and they are not heating up.
Well, and they kind of like, what are you going to do? Tear it down? Like, no, you've locked in all these guys. You're kind of married to that aging core. So I didn't think adding a guy like Carlson was really changing much. You're already old. You may as well lean into it. You're not going to start trading Malkin, right? Like he's there. He's got Sid's the next guy that's up. Interestingly, like he's the guy that if anyone's got a chance to leave, it's him before everyone else. Like Letang locked in, Malkin locked in, Carlson's got term left. I think Sid's only got 1 or 2 years left.
Do we care about playing your whole career with one team?
We get romantic about it. But,
do we? I think us older guys maybe do, but it's such a rare thing now. I don't know if anyone under the age of 40 gives a shit.
I don't. I used to think it was romantic, and he's won cups, but it's way more romantic. Romance, stupid word, but it would be way more exciting to see him go somewhere and try and help another team win than just ride off into the sunset.
When we were in Toronto, the Oilers honks were just, and they're just they're Oilers fans. They're completely irrational. They're like, we're going to get Crosby. I'm like, I've never heard anything so dumb in my life come out of a grown human's brain to think that Sidney Crosby would go to Edmonton to be like the third best player in the forward group. But to see him on a competitive, we've missed him in the playoffs now. This will be 2 years in a row.
Yeah. It's just better when the Rangers and even the Devils, when these teams are in, when Pittsburgh is in, get in.
Philly, Pittsburgh,
Philly, get in. it rarely ends up the way you want it, though. Then you look back and it's like, jeez, this guy, he played for who at the end?
Yeah.
Right? Like Bobby Orr was a Blackhawk.
Well, so think about again, to get rid of the other organization. Would it not have felt a lot better to be like Jerome was a career Flame? Now, I get where they were in their life cycle, but it's pretty similar to Sid. It's like he's probably got 4 years left, maybe a little more. But it's like the team doesn't have any good young players coming, and they're not good enough now. And that's kind of where Jerome was at here when they finally decided to move him. I mean, it just felt wrong to see him in first a Pittsburgh jersey, then a Boston jersey, then Colorado for 3, then the Kings. Like, 4 teams after the Flames? What are we talking about here? It was weird.
Well, but Sid's not going to do that because he's won a cup, though.
Yeah, Iggy was.
You know what I mean? That was Iggy's thing.
Colorado, he wasn't.
Oof, he thought he was.
Right? Not in Colorado, he was. In Boston, right. Pittsburgh, he was.
He was doing 1-year deals. The money wasn't crazy. And then he was like 3 years, $6 million. Like, oh, that's taking the money. That's not chasing the ring.
Yeah. I could buy a ring for $6 million. I could just I'll go see Justin at Vina Nova.
Oh, maybe he is smart. Maybe Iggy's smarter than us, though, because he's like, well, if I don't win a ring as a player, clearly I'll get a job in management for the next 20
if he
or
wants
30.
to win a ring in management, a lot of people would be happy about that.
Boss Conroy around. Yeah.
Please do that, Jerome. That's a great plan. Execute on that.
Because I don't know how we feel about Patrick Kane right now. He went to New York. That didn't work. Injury, right, was part of that. Now he's in Detroit, and I guess it's okay.
It's like Bobby Orr was a Blackhawk. Like, it happens for sure.
The gold standard was Ray Bourque, but there again, had not won, chasing, didn't get it first year in Colorado, then gets it. End of story.
Lifts the cup and cries like a baby.
Doesn't get better than that.
Beautiful stuff.
But I don't know.
He's
kind of feel like Sid's
I always, when we talk about Sid, I always just remember, who did he live with when he started in the league? Mario. He moved in with bleeping Mario. What did Mario do? Who's his mentor? Who's his sounding board? Mario. And it was different because he had to hang around the team, owed him so much dough.
But I was going to say, that's the thing.
But like he would understand the value of that legacy piece. And whereas like Johnny Gaudreau didn't here, he could have been a raise your number up guy.
Well, and does he care to go chase for another cup? It's great for me to say because I didn't win. I want to win a cup. Sure. I have 3.
Yeah. I think what Sidney Crosby wants is that team to be good again so we can have a cup chase with the Penguins again. The path does not look simple there.
Yeah. I think with Mario, he'd have happily left. But if he wanted to get any money.
Yeah. Well, he had to save the franchise to get paid.
Yeah. So that was, I love the Penguins. Yeah, I know you did. Yeah, I would too if I needed. If
they owed me $50 million, I love them
part
too.
Owner.
Yeah, don't let them die.
What else is happening?
Trade yesterday. Another defenseman off the board. Our old pal Treliving went and got Ilya Lyubushkin second time through Toronto.
Yeah, hard to.
They need a D. He's been awful, but he also was pretty serviceable last time he was in Toronto. If you just don't ask him to do too much.
Pierre LeBrun had a report yesterday saying that in terms of the Tanev deal, that there was a deal on the table for Craig Conroy that included a first-round pick, but was also going to include taking on a player with term, and they didn't
want money, essentially.
Yeah, essentially bad money. So you can kind of, just for speculation, let's say it was Toronto, because we know they couldn't do a second because they didn't have a second. So it was going to have to be a first. You brought up Ryan Reeves money.
3-year deal. He's not been good. I mean, he's been better of late. He scored the other night, but he's been healthy and hurt more than he's played. That would be the type of deal they'd like to get out from under. And it's like, okay, we'll give you our first, but help us ease our cap pain. And look, you can go get a first for taking on bad deals. If somebody wants the Flames first, they can take Jonathan Huberdeau. Like, those deals are out there, but that's not what the Flames are trying to do with Chris Tanev. They wanted to get the most they could for the player. Yeah. Never mind do favors for someone else's cap, right?
You wonder though, if you're eating salary, because that would probably be part of it too. You're probably eating salary there and then taking on Reeves money.
How long are you eating salary?
Not long. End of the year.
2 months. Not even. It's April 18th is your last game of the year. You're eating money for 6 weeks. And with a Reeves deal, you're eating money for 2 years and 6 weeks.
It's full speculation, but I do
wonder. That type of deal is what we're talking about.
Yeah, but I wonder how Flames fans feel hearing that. If there was get a first, if you can get a first, well, there was a first, but there was also some baggage with it.
If this team is going the way we think it is, they're not going to be capped out next year, and they will be able to take on bad money, expiring contracts, be a bank like we've seen New Jersey and who else? San Jose? do?
Mhm.
The Labushkin deals at San Jose here? Someone else ate money.
Anaheim.
Well,
I don't
Anaheim
know what it was,
traded them. So third-party deals. Either way, they'll be adding picks by using cap space. If we've talked about this for years, Rhett. If you're not going to contend, have some cap space and take some picks off people's hands to do them some favors with the cap.
Maximize it. Yeah. 100%.
So
That again, easy for us to say.
By not doing it with a theoretical Reeves type deal doesn't mean they're not going to use their cap space the next 2 years to do the same sort of thing. Like you looked at Arizona the last 5 years, they got a second to take Shane Gostisbehere, and then they are swapping him out for an asset. They've been eating money on as a bank a bunch. They've had lots of picks.
We'll talk to Dregs coming up. Darren Dreger from TSN. Believe he's coming in. I did not, but Dreg's super live.
That's right.
There's also some thought that maybe the Flames will be in the market to buy maybe a depth defenseman because you take Zadorov and Hanifin potentially, and you take all of these guys out.
Montana, yeah.
Might be nice to have a warm body come in for a depth pick.
3 of your top 5 defensemen at the beginning of the year potentially are gone in a week. And I think they're going to rejig the pairs tomorrow. You've got Weegar and Anderson as right shot guys, and Weegar's played the left. Tanev's the right shot guy. He leaves. So rather than elevate Pahal into a second pair, maybe you see Anderson top pair, Weegar second pair, and it'll be Shillington and Hanifin on the left. Third pair, Gilbert and Pahal.
But you take Hanifin, like in terms of this conversation.
Right? And so when Hanifin's now gone, a guy to me that makes a lot of sense is like Tyson Barrie. Nashville wants the cap space. He's hardly playing. Expiring contract, if I'm correct. You don't have a D that's great on the power play. That's what he's kind of become now as a power play specialist. If they send a 5th to Nashville and Nashville frees up some money and he's not even playing there, that's the type of move that would make sense for me if the Flames are going to add. It's a very, very late pick and a guy that's just not in the right spot on a contending team. They need out from the money. Flames love cap space. Bring Barrie in to play in the third pair. Who cares? Thoughts?
I'm just curious at like the Nashville and the Barrie, that conversation. I think the Flames still want to make the playoffs. And
that's why you do it, right?
But does Nashville, because that's who you're chasing.
Well, they're trying to get.
You know what I mean? Like
he's not in their top 6. They've been healthy enough.
I know, but you're not going to help the team that's probably the only team. Well, the only team, a team that you think might be on your heels. I don't know. I'm just.
What do you think of when you hear Tyson Barrie?
Not a lot. I think that it would cost you more than a 5th would be the thing. And I'd be very curious to know. The one thing I'll say I feel about the Flames right now is I think they have a pretty good gauge on defense. Seeing Rasmus Anderson, seeing Shillington, seeing some of the guys that have come through and played. I mean, Dennis Gilbert was, just kind of found and he was fine. Pahal comes off.
Simone, that was nice get to.
I don't know. He doesn't feel like a fit if he's being healthied in Nashville, who also I think has a good handle on defense.
Well, I mean, you're down to your 8th, 9th, 10th defenseman organizationally here playing. He's better than that.
Yeah. I just
wonder. Pahal was on waivers.
No, I understand.
Gilbert's cleared waivers. So your third pair is not NHL defenseman at this point, right?
Yeah.
Once you move Hanifin.
We'll see. Well, maybe we'll ask our next guest, because I mean, we can say whatever the hell we want. We don't know what we're talking about.
Barry's played 35 games, has 12 points. So
what's happened there? Why is that falling off the table like that?
Well, he's 32. That's kind of the age where it's like, guys, it's tougher to hold your job. And he was never a great D-zone player. They've got Roman Josi there. It's not like they need a guy to come be power play 1.
Yeah.
I just don't see a great fit there. And really, they didn't want him. They needed to take him to make that Ekholm deal work last year with Edmonton, because Edmonton had to make the money work.
Let's go to the Insider Hotline. It's a presentation of TELUS. Enter to win one of 6 monthly prizes, including tickets to Calgary hockey games, awesome tech like AirPods, Apple Watches, and more. No purchase necessary. All you have to do is fill out a quick survey to enter. For your chance to win, go to TELUS.com/Flames contest. To the Insider Hotline we go. From TSN, he's Darren Dreger. Hello, Dregs.
What's going on, fellas?
Well, we're worried about you insiders next week because Conroy's traded Lindholm. Now Tanev's gone. What if you guys may have nothing to talk about? Oh, dear.
Well, that's James Duffy's problem. That's not my problem. So when we're sitting at that back insider desk, and it's an old Bobby McKenzie pioneer sort of play, when you see us sitting there like this with our phones up,
nothing.
Like most often it's nothing. but we're putting that out there so the producers don't cut to us because we really don't
I'm
want
very
to
busy right
participate
now.
and talk.
Yeah.
Just hang on, Dregs. Yeah,
Oh,
just got something.
That's
on
why
here.
exactly. That's why you've
So-
had the monkeys and the llamas and all the BS that runs through that studio over the years.
Yeah.
So, are you playing Candy Crush, or what's your game?
Nah. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say there's game playing, although, and I won't out one of the insiders, I have seen one of them, trying to think what year it was, not that inside 5 years ago, playing solitaire on his phone. And
yeah, you can't say that guy's name. That's his career's over if that gets out.
Yeah, just watch the camera angles because there's cameras everywhere now. I just want to get your thoughts. Obviously, Tanev goes to Dallas. It's the second. It's the prospect. Conroy and the Flames like the prospect, obviously. I know that Pierre LeBrun yesterday was saying that there was a deal with a first, but it included taking back some, I guess, bad money, if you want to call it that, or a player with term. Just your read on the deal that Conroy and the Flames took and what else might have been out there.
Well, look, the teams and the general managers who still have players in play, particularly defense, didn't like it because they thought that Conroy settled early. And I don't know that I buy that entirely. And I did a bit of research on the prospect defenseman, and there's nothing flashy about this young guy, but all accounts, he's a good player. He is. And there's at least a decent chance that he's going to be a good defensive defenseman. Now, he'll have the opportunity in Calgary to prove that. So if you like the prospect, then the draft picks kind of fall into place. And I don't think anybody had a big issue with the return. I think it was more the timing of the return and the belief that the longer you wait, then the price is going to go up, or you're going to get the price that you've established. And I guess that's fair until it doesn't work, right? I mean, the phone goes two ways here. We don't know what Brad Treliving, as an example, was saying to Craig Conroy or the Vancouver Canucks or the Colorado Avalanche or any other team that was, Edmonton Oilers were in on Tanev to a point as well. Those general managers aren't just dwindling and waiting. At some point, they say to the Calgary Flames, all right, enough horsing around here. Like, we're either going to try and make a deal here, or we're cutting bait and we're going in a different direction. And
it's our best offer. Take it or leave it.
And the other part is too, you've got Tanev, who's always one shift away from maybe a serious injury. So I do get why. I get both sides for sure.
Can I? And one other thing, Dregs, I wanted to ask is, Conroy has to make a name for himself as well, right? Like, so in years to come, you know what I mean? Like, there's calling bluffs, or however you want to describe it. It's like now GMs know if he phones, I'm making a deal. Do you have anything better? Well, no.
Give me a few days.
They're going to believe 100%. That this is how he works.
Well, I did with Lindholm too, right? That's two of them ahead of the market.
Yeah.
So let's just use the Tanev trade here as Exhibit A, Rhett, for what you just said. So, Brad Treliving and the Toronto Maple Leafs were there. And there's no question that Treliving wanted Chris Tanev in a Maple Leafs uniform. He insinuated that he was willing to discuss the first-round draft pick. But he never actually put that first-rounder in play. And he didn't have the assets in terms of the second-round picks, as we know, to make a deal work. So if you're Craig Conroy, you're not just going to sit there and twiddle your thumbs waiting for Toronto to throw that pick out there. You make that call and you say, either the first is on the table or we're done. And that's probably how it broke down. And I also think too, I don't know what Dallas would have been willing to go to. I know that, we go into this earlier in the week, and Dallas most definitely was the front runner on Chris Tanev. But there was kind of a loose speculation that maybe it was going to be Maverick Bourque, who's having a hell of a run in the American League with Texas. Stankoven seemed unlikely because, this kid is making a splash currently in the NHL. And by about Wednesday, our Dallas sources said, well, there's two untouchable pieces, Stankoven and Maverick Bourque. But there's another prospect that we might be willing to consider moving. And I poked around a little bit, and Dallas wouldn't say this, Calgary wouldn't divulge this, but the other teams who had some sort of working knowledge said it has to be the defenseman because he'd be next up on that list. So I don't know. I mean, when you feel like you've got the best deal, isn't that your job to pull the trigger and make that decision as a general manager, regardless how many days you have between now and the deadline? I think Calgary did fine.
Yeah, and I think it's clear to all of us that Connie's particularly fond of this player, and that I don't know that other organizations necessarily would covet this player as much as Connie did, but for whatever reason he did, and that he's the GM. This is his stamp he gets to put on the team. Would you rule out another Dallas Calgary trade? Like, would they be still circling on a guy like Hanifin? It's not like they gave up a lot. You just noted their top 2 prospects are still there. They didn't give up their first. They have their first each of the next 3 years. Would they be a suitor for Hanifin at this point?
I don't think so. And a high-ranking Dallas source said to me that they believe that they're done. Now, they do have a little bit of space. I know that about a week or so ago, the belief was that they were looking for that help on the right side on their blue line, but maybe even looking for a little bit of depth up front. So maybe there's an affordable piece that they can add as a forward. There's been some speculation on social media that they could use, the long-term injury money of Tyler Seguin. Well, that's not the case, because Seguin is going to return before the end of the regular season, and they're going to have the cap space to get him back into the mix. So you never say never. Maybe there's a hockey trade that can be established here where Dallas feels like there's an opportunity. But I think that they filled the need. I mean, they targeted Chris Tanev and ended up getting Chris Tanev. Had to get creative through New Jersey, but found a way to get it done. I think they're pretty happy, and they should be.
Yeah, it feels like a great deal for Dallas, and obviously the jury can be out, but time will tell. But you say the fit for Conway, there's something there that he likes about this player. Now, in some ways, I think across the board, everyone would say, well, Noah Hanifin's the better defenseman. Thus, this should be an easier deal to make and should bring in more assets. We've just been told that this is maybe a harder deal to get done. There's fewer teams because the salary is higher, and there's fewer teams involved, and you hear about, well, they don't have a first round pick, which would have you would think would kind of be a non-starter if you don't. I know Chris Johnson, one of your colleagues, was saying this is maybe a hard deal, and I've been told that maybe just don't be expecting home runs on both deals, Tanev and certainly with Hanifin.
I think that's fair. I do. And what's tricky about Noah Hanifin, aside from the fact that he's playing terrific hockey right now, right? I mean, the team is playing well too, so that helps. Is that, if you're the Dallas Stars, you're probably looking at Chris Tanev, and you're less looking at him as a rental, even though he might end up being a rental. Let's see how things play out. But there's an affordability there. When you're acquiring Noah Hanifin, unless the structure of the trade includes a sign, it's cost prohibitive, even though you're getting a hell of a hockey player here. The teams that are going to look at Noah Hanifin, and the 2 teams in the East that everybody keeps talking about are the Boston Bruins and the Tampa Bay Lightning. I could make sense of both. Tampa Bay for sure. Julien Brisebois has a history of adding these key pieces just before the trade deadline, and he knows that the window is closing to win another Stanley Cup. And I'm not sure, maybe it's already closed, but hey, they've got enough experience and talent there when the playoffs roll around. Who knows? Boston, I think, is a bit more gun shy because of what Don Sweeney did leading up to the deadline last year. And then they got dispatched early. So he's sitting there going, geez, you got to be careful when you're cleaning out your prospect closet and your draft capital is being used. You can't do that every single year, even though the Boston Bruins have had a really good run. But I think why then we also have to be okay with the fact that maybe you don't hit that home run boomer, like you say. It's because Noah Hanifin has earned a hell of a paycheck. Yeah. He 100% has. Yeah. And if you don't like, a $65 million contract extension or a contract, now it'll be different unless he's, it could, in theory, be an 8-year deal. Let's see how it all plays out. But that's cost prohibitive for a lot of teams that like the idea of Noah Hanifin, don't like the idea knowing that their ask is premium assets, and they don't think that he'll be more than a rental piece.
So let's explore Tampa a little bit. They don't have the first until 2026, which I think sounds like a bad thing, but Tampa might not be that good in 2026.
Yeah.
They also have Stamkos as a UFA. Like, if you're Craig Conroy, are you actually sneakily wanting that pick 3 years down the road? Because it might be a high pick. Maybe that's when Tampa resets.
Well, possibly. And look, here's the other thing. You know, I'm not a draft guru, so I can't tell you what the class of 26 looks like at this stage. But I can tell you that the class of 24 isn't as good or as deep as 25 is expected to be. So if your amateur scouts are telling you, okay, well, here are the kids that we're looking at now projecting for 26, and we like the look of that class, why wouldn't you consider that? Why wouldn't you? If you know that the 24 class isn't as deep, you know, there's not necessarily a rush. But then I say that and I'm thinking, okay, well, what's Calgary doing here? Are we transitioning on the fly? Or are we taking a bigger bite out of this? And there's more of a foundational change and overhaul, if you will. And I don't have the answer to that. I can see how that is needed, in the not too distant future, but it's hard to do when, you've got the bigger contracts in Huberdeau and Kadri. Kadri, I'm sure he could get moved if he wants to be moved in the off season. The Markstrom stuff, that's going to continue to float on until we get past the trade deadline, and then it'll pick up again in the offseason. But I think organizationally, that's what Conroy has to look at, and that's what that group has to look at. And if they feel like that's the best approach, then maybe that first-round draft pick isn't as big of a deal depending on that year.
Man, I just look at them down the middle, Dregs, and it's like they have two centermen in the NHL. The other guys are miscast or like bubble guys. Like, I think Sharangovich is going to end up being a winger. He's done a great job filling the hole. Kevin Rooney's their fourth line center. Like, he spent all last year in the A. And Kadri's 33, turning 34 next fall. Yeah. And Michael Backlund's already 35. Like, I understand that they might be able to be competitive and retool on the fly here, but where is their next number one centerman? I don't know that you can find that guy unless it's in a Markstrom deal or B, very high in the draft.
Yeah, I'm with you. There's always going to be, 3-4 centers available. I mean, we can probably name 3 or 4 of them right now who are potentially available, in this trade class as we look forward to next Friday's deadline. Number 2 centers, hard to find. First line centers, impossible, right? Yeah. I mean, you either overpay via trade to get that piece, or you better draft it and develop it properly. And when I think of the speculation around the Boston Bruins, and it's interesting because Boston has a kid who's hurt now. I think he had shoulder surgery, and Matthew Poitras, who jumped into the league as a 19-year-old, and first month in the NHL, they were calling him Patrice Bergeron 2.0, which was, unfair to the kid. Like, come on. But beyond what you saw in the NHL, Boston doesn't have that sort of center capital either, and they need it. So when you're looking for fits like that, it gets really, really delicate because first-round centers are never available by trade.
Yeah. We were discussing, and we'll move on to some other stuff, but it's still with the Flames. Curious, they're willing to eat money. They ate some money, albeit it's for whatever's left on the Tanev deal, but could they be a landing spot as other teams closer to the deadline? They've got a deal to do. They've got to move some money. Yeah. Maybe that's a way you get a young player or another draft pick. And if in fact Zadorov and Tanev and Hanifin all leave, might the Flames actually be shopping a little bit? Maybe there's a defenseman. Maybe it's because that team needs to move and create space, or just a warm NHL body to have. So it's not, it feels like it would be a lot on the young unproven guys.
It's not inconceivable though, right? And when you get into that depth position, there are going to be decent players who are available, and maybe you do have to back in and fill that void. I'm just thinking of what's going on in Columbus. They seem relatively quiet, but there have been defensemen available in Columbus since prior to the start of the regular season. Yeah. So maybe there's a fit. What's fashionable, and we've seen it in the last couple of trades here, is that third-party brokering, right? Yeah. Where New Jersey and Carolina are taking on percentages, for draft picks. Like another general manager, a Western Conference general manager, said to me, why in the hell would Don Waddell and the Carolina Hurricanes do the Toronto Maple Leafs a favor? I mean, a 6th round draft pick, you can, with all due respect, you can come up with a dozen free agents every single year, or wait and pluck somebody off waivers who's got a better chance than that 6th round pick developing. Yeah. But, it's part of how this season is unfolding. So when you look at cap friendly or whatever, I mean, any team that has cap space is now all of a sudden throwing their name out there, their team out there to say, hey, we'll be that broker. So even in that scenario, maybe Calgary gets a defenseman back to help out a cap team. I mean, there are lots of cap teams. I look at the Florida Panthers. They might be the best team in hockey. They might be, just the way they play, structure, commitment, all of that stuff. They don't have any wants or needs, but if there was a forward available, a top 9 winger, center, I think Billy Zito would be in that game, but he doesn't have any room. He doesn't have any cap space. So, maybe there's a fit there. And I looked at that Florida roster, and if you dive into their American League, their defense is solid. Like, they've got some prospects in Florida that I know teams have talked about, whether or not Zito wants to include that as part of a package if something arises. But all the top teams are looking for forwards. So maybe there's a way to make all of that work.
Yeah, they got Nick Cousins on the Kachuk line. I don't know that that's what they want to do in the playoffs necessarily. Mm-hmm. We'd floated Tyson Barrie's name in Nashville. He's 7th on games played for the Predators. He's not one of their favorite guys to play at this point. They don't need someone to run a power play. They have Roman Josi. Yeah. I don't know what they do with Carrier. He's making $4.5. He's a UFA this summer. What are your thoughts on what Nashville does? It's sort of, they like Carrier, but he might leave, and they don't like Barrie, but he's up at the end of the year.
Well, they've changed position. They're not a seller anymore, and may not be a buyer. They might be a tinkerer because they're in a playoff spot and they like the run that they're on. When I look at Tyson Barrie, he just seems to be a misfit with everything that is in Nashville. So I don't doubt for a second that they would trade him. And obviously, he's made it abundantly clear earlier in the year that he would want a fresh start somewhere else as well. I mean, I don't see the fit with a lot of teams, contending teams, playoff teams. But again, you go down that list, right? So we've seen a couple of defensemen go. Hanifin's going to go. What's going to happen with Sean Walker and Nick Seeler? I know Danny Briere is still going back and forth on negotiations for extensions, but also then balancing that, versus the trade interest that is developing today, as a matter of fact, in Philadelphia. So how far do you have to go on that list of available defensemen to get to Tyson Barrie's name? But he does have a unique style, that might appeal to some teams that feel like he can provide at least a little bit more offensive pop from the back end.
You had mentioned Florida. I'll double back on them in a moment, but I know you had no surprise, the Oilers and the Golden Knights are actively shopping McCrimmon. We know loves a deal, and the Oilers, it feels like they're
what's the first for them?
They almost have to, or it'd be the whips and chains for not making a move if they don't win. Just thoughts there on potential fits. We know who's out there. Obviously, Jake Gensel's name has been tied to Edmonton a little bit, but just thoughts on both.
Yeah, I mean, an Oilers source tells me that's a pipe dream. And Jake Gensel, I mean, if they can find a way to land him, well, good on him, because, that is a significant piece. He's top of the class for me, up there with Toffoli and some of the others, Pavel Buchnevich. The problem is that we don't know whether these guys are truly available just yet. The New Jersey Devils are just outside the line here. They've got a lot of a gap that they're going to have to cover off. I heard that they want a first for Tyler Toffoli, but they're still not sure that they're going to trade him. So when you look at those teams that are trying to add up front, for sure Vegas, for sure Edmonton, for sure the New York Rangers, for sure the Carolina Hurricanes, and the list goes on and on and on. Pat Verbeek of the Anaheim Ducks has been tailing both the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers all week long. He's got Vetrano, whose name has been in the mix. He's got Adam Henrique. Both those players would help the New York Rangers. They'd help any of the teams that I've already mentioned. Vegas I mean, we know how Kelly McCrimmon swings, right? We know, and I reported this yesterday, that Mark Stone, sadly, is done for the regular season. It's quite possible he's done for the season period because of how substantive his injury is. Well, for sure, McCrimmon is going to utilize that cap space. No question about that. So any of those forwards, maybe a Jordan Eberle, if Seattle decides that they're not going to extend him, and they finally make the call that they're willing to wheel and deal and move some pieces out, maybe he's a fit. But all of those top contending teams, they're in a battle. And I think that that's going to be among the most intriguing storylines in the next week, is how the Wild West, where the powerhouses across the NHL figure out best available forward and how they land that piece.
I really UFA this summer. I know.
Mm-hmm. I was going to double back, but I'll tie it in. It sounds like Elias Pettersson and the Vancouver Canucks, it seemed like yesterday, major ground being made as far as a contract extension there. And it's in that Nylander 11.5 kind of neighborhood.
What about the term though? That's where I keep hearing different numbers.
Yeah, you're right.
Is it 4 years? Is it 8 years? What are we doing here?
We just default to 8 years, but it's not always what the player wants,
Matthews.
right?
And that's the issue. You know, if you're the Vancouver Canucks, you're adamant it's got to be an 8-year term. You want this guy locked down for as long as possible. So you want the 8-year max. With players of this magnitude, you always have the options between 5 and 8 years. And I'm pretty sure that Pettersson would prefer 5 years. Now, he's trending just above Nylander at 11.5. So we're splitting hairs at somewhere just shy of 12 million. I mean, that restricted free agent year next year matters. So that impacts the AAV a little bit there. You know, I think that this is masterful business. Now, I'm sure Pettersson and the agents don't feel that way. But, you know, for that information to leak out last weekend, Jim Rutherford and the Vancouver Canucks were potentially having trade conversations. I mean, that put the crosshairs on Pettersson, who hasn't been willing to allow his agents to get to the negotiating table. Well, you don't want to be a distraction. Well, now you're a distraction because we don't have a choice. We're protecting our asset here. So we're going to have those conversations. I mean, I don't think any of us believe for a second that the Canucks are trading Elias Pettersson between now and Friday. Just it's not going to happen. But you at least have those conversations, if for no other reason, it's a pressure point. And it worked because Tuesday night, they're back at the negotiating table. Carries into Wednesday, carries into Thursday. I'm sure they'll revisit, you know, over the course of the weekend. But they'll get to a point, being Papersson and JP Barry, where they take a 5-year, 6-year, 7-year, 8-year, all of those options with different AAVs back to Pettersson. Which one do you like? Yeah. And he goes, well, I want 5 years. That's all I'm doing is 5 years. And then you take that back to Alvin and Rutherford, and they say, well, we're not doing 5 years. Okay, then we'll talk to you in the summer.
I honestly, I don't know why the players always go 8. Like when Matthew Tkachuk left here, it's like, why wouldn't you take 10 million for 3 years and jump back in when the cap's 95 million?
Agreed. Yeah.
And that's what Austin Matthews has had a master class on in Toronto. They walked him right to UFA at an entry level in a 5-year deal at huge money. You got the money and you got the term. And then on his first pure UFA deal, he goes 4 at market rate. Like that's how you make money.
Oh yeah. And when that deal first came out, Brad Treliving, then with the Calgary Flames, was livid that Kyle Dubas had allowed that to happen. And I don't blame him, and I don't blame Dubas. I mean, Austin Matthews is always going to have the hammer until the end of his career, right? Like that's just the way it is. But it definitely upset the leverage position of the clubs and put it right back into the hands of the player agents and the player. But you've got to be a special player to have that level of clout. Matthews obviously does. Pettersson, I think, does. But we're going to find out. I mean, go ahead, Ryan.
You got to be brave enough too, because injuries do happen.
I was going to say, yeah.
And it's easier for a guy like that has a ton of dough to we talk about this in other sports. When you look at like Bichette or Guerrero, their dads made tens of millions. Whereas like if you're the kid from the Dominican that his family couldn't find 20 grand to send him to the States, like we'll take the deal now. Give us like there's obviously some leverage there.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's going to be fascinating.
I feel like it's a different class, but no one has done a better job. Hanifin's had a great year. Sam Reinhart has done. This is the prime example of what you want to do. Goals 40 and 41 last night. He's 28, unrestricted. I don't think he's in that 11 and a half million, or is he?
He's outproducing Nylander.
You know,
like,
yeah. You know, again, you end up though with the Florida state tax, and it's relevant. It matters. So if he's in that class of Nylander 11-5, and you know, of course he is. I mean, he's played his way into that level of conversation. He's at a point in his career where he is deeply appreciative of the fit. He loves it with the Florida Panthers. You can't argue with the results. They love him. So there always has to be a harder level of negotiating. But I feel like the AAV is going to be lower on this than many of us expect. But in the grand scheme of things, maybe they throw an extra year in there. So if it's 9.5 with the Florida taxation, maybe it kind of balances out, you know, because you have an opportunity to win a Stanley Cup, and it doesn't look like that's going to leave the Florida Panthers anytime soon. So just negotiate term, make sure the term matters more than the AAV, regardless of what your numbers are compared to the guys making 11 plus.
Yeah. Like if he leaves and goes to market in a place like Chicago, he's the full freight. But I think if there's anyone that appreciates winning versus losing, go look where Sam Reinhart's first half of his career was. He was in Buffalo. They never made the playoffs once. This is the guy that probably appreciates fit, and you get the tax.
Agreed.
Okay, maybe I hang.
Yeah, 100% agree. And that's what's going to happen. I don't think this one is going to be problematic. Billy Zito's a sharp general manager, right? Mm-hmm. You know, he's put pen to paper 1,000 times trying to figure out how he's going to make this work. And there's no rush, but we've been continually told by both sides, the player side and the club side, they're going to find a way to get it done.
Well, have a fine week. Now, next Friday is the big day, right?
Hawaiian t-shirt.
Yes, yeah.
Hawaiian t-shirt day. That's right. So will we have you? Do we need to move a date or?
Yeah, we'll have to do it Thursday.
Thursday's great.
Yeah.
Unless you guys work Saturdays. Do you work Saturdays? Maybe we can do it Saturday.
We barely work Monday to Friday.
So we already worked that extra day with the bleeping leap year. We're gonna have to take a day off somewhere.
This February 29th thing is bullshit. Yeah. Kind of a no-fly zone on Saturdays, but so we'll plan on Thursday. Thanks, Dregs.
Okay, guys, have a great weekend.
There you go.
See ya.
Darren Dreger. TSN Insider joining us on the Insider Hotline for TELUS. Now, TELUS, since 2005, have been partnered with the Calgary Hitmen. It was the TELUS Be Brave anti-bullying game with the Calgary Hitmen this week.
My kids were there. They loved it. Everyone got pink shirts. The Hitmen, I think, socked Edmonton 4-1. They had a shorty my kids were raving about.
Youth from schools across Calgary are bussed in. It's the anti-bullying game. They've obviously got the great messaging throughout the game and the T-shirts and all of that, and they jam that thing.
It's great.
Full of wired up kids, 2 of them yours. Who knew?
Yeah, and that probably counts for about a dozen of other normal children.
That's right. Some would be quiet, and then there'd be yours to kind of bring the bring the level back. So Retro, what's the plan today? You've got a luncheon. Is it fancy? Have you decided on your attire? You were very sharp. I mean, it's the black t-shirt. Do you have a dress code?
This is it. It's kind of a black sweatery thing that's about as good as it's going to get for old Retro.
Do we have holes in the knees and pockets?
Gray jeans, kind of a gray jean thing. I think I have to go up and answer questions about the goalie. Not looking forward to that at all.
I'll just remind everyone you brought him to town. That's always a great icebreaker. I like that story.
Yeah.
Because how did that go? It was
Mike Greer.
You hammered him into Roman Turek.
Turek
injured.
Need a goalie. I guess I got to find a goalie.
Who knew?
Here comes Kipper. Rhett saves the franchise.
All right. So I think we have to let you go. Is that the
well, I was told to be here around 11. There's lots of people walking in at this point, so I'm outside. I could go in and see what's going on. Pinder mentioned grabbing somebody, so maybe I could go try that. But
go see who you can rustle up. Get us an old friend.
Throw him on your phone, and we don't even need to talk to him. Just the 2 of you can have a nice little bullshit session, and we'll.
Or just give him your gear, and you can screw off. We've talked to you enough.
That's probably more.
There is that too. Yeah, there is that. So you know what we'll do, Jackie boy? We're gonna take a break. We'll take a break. We'll let Retro go. We'll come back. We'll do the Pinder Report and continue with Barnburger. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Got some kangaroos coming up.
Great. Haircut, that helps for
It
sure.
does. Yeah. Too bad he didn't really force the barber's hand there with the mohawk. That would have been a vibe.
Yeah.
You know who's
for
got
young
a
people.
serious mohawk right now that I saw in Toronto? Big Earn.
Yeah, that would fit.
Oh, he is not looking less scary. Like some of these guys, you're like, that's a pro athlete. You're like, no,
Mhm.
that guy definitely got paid to maul humans for sure.
Yeah. I remember
Oh,
their son, I can't remember his name right now.
is it
but
Gabe? I want to
It
say
is Gabe.
Yeah.
He brought Gabe home with a mohawk haircut.
Yes.
Didn't go over well.
With Mama Bear.
Wasn't appreciative.
Yeah, I think Gabe's same age as my guy. That's the only reason I
Yeah.
remember that.
There you go. Service Credit Union, the Service Big Share. We've been telling you about it. It continues. We're now into March, so time's ticking. Back for the 6th year, your chance to win $1 million just by saving money. Anyone can enter by becoming a member, and saving with Service. Every $500 saved gives you 5 entries into the Service Big Share contest. Transfer your existing savings to Service for chances to win $1 million. Contest ends April 30th, 2024. Skill test required. For rules, visit service.ca/win. You know how 2020 was a bad year?
There was a few years
Yeah.
in there that really sucked
2020,
a lot.
2020.
Yeah.
How good would 2024 be if you get the $1 million?
Quite a bit better than 2020.
Be better, right?
Yeah.
Better than that.
Yeah. I did get to binge a few TV shows while I was stuck in my basement for a week straight away from everyone I know as a huge extrovert,
Yeah.
but mostly negatives that year. Yeah.
I'm trying to think because the Bulls thing, right? The Last Dance, it came out.
Yes.
Watch that.
Well, Tiger King came out. The one.
That's right. Yeah.
That bitch, Carol Baskin.
Oh, Carol
That was a
Baskin.
huge thing. What
Yeah.
else went viral that year?
Uh,
I feel like what's the one in the lakes down in Missouri?
there was Ozark.
Oh, it was the Ozarks. Yeah, that was
Ozark
that was
Mountains.
kind of around then. I want to say
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
And then the one about the big company in New York where the families were trying to wrangle control.
Succession.
Secession. That was big around then.
Yeah.
Too.
I watched Veep.
Veep
I
is
worked
funny.
my way through Veep.
And that's Alicia something Dreyfus.
That's right.
Louis. Yeah, this one. Yeah.
That's her.
She's great.
Nailed it.
Am I ever on fire here? Anyway, reminiscing about COVID. Great stuff. Love that pandemic.
It's like Buddy on The Office. What would you do for a? No one tell him. No one tell him. You want to do the Pinder Report?
Get at it, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just want to give a huge tip of the cap to the barn animals. I don't even look for stuff for the Pinder Report. It gets sent to me. I've got like 6 or 7 huge production assistants, essentially.
Yeah.
I just basically send it to Jack and we're done every day.
This is deflecting blame, kind of, is what we're
This is a bit of a
maybe a
cover
little
my
bit of
ass.
dodging it. Yeah, a little bit.
Insurance.
Village Honda, located in the Northwest Ottawa. They're online at villagehonda.com. I was thinking about it today. I mentioned it. It says, though the weather in Calgary was designed and made for the CRV.
On March 1st in 2024, 100%.
Yesterday, so hot. Need to turn the air conditioning on.
Yeah.
By 5 p.m.,
That's a cold wind.
Oh, now it's snowing, and now it's really snowing. And now I don't even know if I should leave the house.
There was a stream running down the street of all the snow melt.
Yeah.
And then 2 hours later, that was all ice and the wind was roaring and it was snowing. Like, what is going on?
Say it again. It's the CRV. No matter the conditions, the CRV from Honda sits atop the pack among compact SUVs. You'll feel confident behind the wheel of your CRV as Honda has included a plethora of driver safety features that come standard. This is a great time to test drive that vehicle. This is when you know what you got. Village Honda, they've got what you got, what you need. Northwest Auto Mall. And online at villagehonda.com, they present the Pinder Report.
Let's go to the wildcard standings. We always take a look early in the Pinder Report where things are at. These Nashville Predators, Dean. So you're telling me the Calgary Flames are on a 4-game winning streak and they've lost ground over that stretch. Yeah. They sure have. They're now 7 back. Now games played aren't exactly even. By my math, they have 2 games in hand here, but Nashville is, if you want to look at a team retooling and staying competitive, I don't know that there's a team to look to more. Here's the heater they've been on. Hawin. Now, those are mostly good teams plus San Jose. And then they followed up those Hawins with Hawin. The last one, including last night's Leap Day smashing of the Wild, a co-wild card hopeful. It's a big W for Nashville, who've reeled off 7 in a row. That's better than 4 in a row, I've noticed.
Yeah, that 5 straight was all on the road, and that set a franchise record. Now, how did that work? Because Andrew Burnett said, we're not going to the Sphere. And now they've won every game.
You too.
Was it in that winning streak, or how did that?
Yeah, they turned it around right there. That's it's quite impressive because you saw. I think if you go back to that first graphic, they were in Vegas and had a little bit of wiggle room around Vegas. They were going to go early, I think.
Yeah.
And so Vegas was game 2 of that 7-game winning streak. They said no sphere, and the fellas turned it around like that. And to be fair, like if Phil Forsberg and a few of the other fellows that make some dough, they could probably hire you too if this team keeps rolling.
Because
like
there's a big, you get Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Look at that. They got Saturday, Tuesday wide open. And the last day they were there, I think some fell in there somewhere. And I don't feel for the players. They can afford to go fly and see U2 wherever they are. It's the equipment guys and the team staff. They can't spend, $2,000 American to go see U2. I feel for those guys.
Yeah.
But again, they're okay. You just don't have
they'll
any
be fine
sympathy for
too.
anyone.
Yeah. Big tippers, those NHL guys. Tip those guys.
You better. Tax-free tips.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they claim them all. Let's go to the inverse standings. Speaking of things, man, the Arizona Coyotes are on an absolute heater. Yeah, I know. Twist your head. That's your draft board right there. Top 7 teams. Montreal still not good, eh? Ottawa still not good, eh? Arizona, we thought they were good this year. They have not won a game in their last 14.
Yeah,
January 22nd.
22 against Pittsburgh. So 14 straight losses.
They've been straight shit. And getting our Betway bets later on, not even close in many of these. A couple went to extra time. That's it.
They lose tonight. It's 15, obviously, which would tie a franchise record since they've been in Phoenix.
Not a Winnipeg record.
Winless. Yeah, I'm sure Winnipeg had some awful in there. Got to be close, but
yeah.
Good way to go, Coyotes.
They understand the mission here. Work hard, have fun, play the kids, get another high pick. You're not there yet.
Sure. Got that new rink coming. Everything's coming up, Coyotes.
Salt Lake one. Yeah. No, the new one will be there for the Olympics in 2030 something. Yeah, that's right. Schedule for the Flames. Busy March. It's been really slow. We're talking about a
March of the Penguins on Saturday. You know what I mean?
See what you did there. Yeah. Kraken will wrap the homestand, and then it's the miserable old Southeast Division swing. Tampa, Florida, Carolina.
Shut up, Jack.
Back-to-back matinees on the weekend.
Jack's going to go to Kipper night, but be wearing his
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh
turd. You're not.
Yes, I am.
Of course he is.
Why wouldn't I?
You'd show some respect. That's why. Skipper. Look, every other year, please, where are all your Crosby?
Wearing his Darius Kasparaitis gear. Get out of here, Jack.
A lot of home games. If you look right up to Washington on the 18th, that will be 7 out of 10 at the Scotiabank Saddle Dome. Okay. Busy month, somewhere between 12 and 15 games. We can't do
put that back up there, Jack. Like, again, the schedule. So you have no games this week.
Nothing.
Basically.
Yeah, they haven't played since what?
You go to Tampa, then back-to-back Florida, Carolina, fly home. How about Colorado Tuesday? How's that? Colorado will be here waiting for you probably with how that rolls.
Good news is they'll be home earlier on Sunday with the matinee. But yeah, they play 82. It's busy at certain spots. It has been really light the last few weeks. So they're into the thick of it right quick here. Remember, everyone had games in hand on them. Now they've got games in hand on other teams. Let's get moving. On the ice, the Saddle Dome is getting ready for the March of the Penguins, or whatever your joke was there.
The March of the Penguins, eh?
There's a new feature here on the ice. Did you notice this?
It's March.
Yes. It's happening. It's going where it rightfully belongs.
Behind the net?
Raptors.
Oh.
Let's go.
Because I'm guessing that was behind the net. You can't put that in the crease, can you?
Yeah, that'll be behind the net. That's exactly where Mike Smith did his campfire on a Ginla night.
Right.
Oh. Okay. Look at the arrival. Artem Grushnikov, or Grish, as the kids call him.
Grish?
He's got his own dance. They're doing the Grish in the streets. He landed at the airport. He's ready to go. How keen is he?
Who are we hugging with there?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Because that wasn't a, hey, I'm with the Calgary Wranglers.
No, those are boys.
Pleased to meet
those are guys
you.
that played together. Is that an old Kitchener Ranger? Where was it? No, Hamilton Bulldog? What do we got? I don't know. We do some detective work. I don't have the comments up. Jack, could we figure out who that is? Look at that. Freeze frame right there. Who are we talking about?
Thanks for nothing, Jack.
Now, Grishnikov is 6'2", This fellow looks like he might be the same height or bigger. Is this a young Kuznetsov? Alex Gallant? Oh, the tough guy. No, Gallant's 5'10". He's out. Have you seen Gallant's fights this year?
I have, yeah.
Oh,
so I'm gonna
animal.
Is he Russian?
It sounds
Did
like
they play in Hamilton? Did they play the Dallas Star?
Someone in the comments got to straighten us out here.
AHL?
We can't be the experts all day here.
We're so smart too.
Usually.
Too bad.
Yeah.
If I'd have known this was coming, I'd have.
Yeah, I was going to research that and then run through some photos.
Forgot about it.
Wow, it's got a lot of crocodiles to get to.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, let's get to the NHL portion of the Pinder Report, where Nate Dogg continues to do Nate Dogg things. He's the second player to 100 points. Hit that last night. You beat McDavid to 100 points, you're having a good year. If McDavid's healthy and in the league that year.
Right. Yeah.
So the order so far is Cooch in Tampa, Nate Dogg in Colorado. Now we'll see who's next. Panarin? Is it McDavid? Keeping it 100. Again, the kids say, is Jack writing these? What is happening? Fourth player in Avs/Nords history with back-to-back 100-point seasons. The only guy to do it in Colorado. Everyone else did it in Quebec City. Stashny did it a couple times. Sakic did it a couple times. And how about Old Flames pro scout and beauty, Michel Goulet, back in the 80s?
Oh,
he was a weapon.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui. Mais oui. Tabernacle.
Parlez-vous tabernacle. That's a bad word, though, right?
Yeah, in French. We're this is an English language program. They'd be happy because in Quebec they really want you to use their terminology. They don't want us to use an English word. So you're welcome, guys.
You're welcome.
Toronto made a deal yesterday. Brad Treliving went and got a defenseman. It was not Chris Tanev, and is that ever not Chris Tanev? That's Ilya Lyubushkin, who is having a miserable year with the Ducks. Now that said, he has played in Toronto. He has been paired with Morgan Riley before. The results were good. Why did they trade him? Well, they tied him to Nick Ritchie after that miserable signing to get rid of the remainder of Nick Ritchie's contract before he was brought in by the Flames and used in a shootout in a very important game last year by Daryl Sutter. Backpack.
So much backpack.
A third and a sixth, and some money retained by Carolina. That was the third party, not San Jose.
That's right.
Kane's eating some dough.
And like Dreg said, what do you do? What do you help in Toronto for a 6th round pick? Go pound sand. That's what I'd be saying. 6th rounder.
Pound salt?
Get out of here.
Pound it both.
Salt and brick?
Salt and sand. Brick and salt. Salt and brick.
Free plugs.
Now, yeah, love it. Thank you, Casey. Combine is on in Indianapolis. This is the NFL thing.
Harvest? John Deere?
Close. They're harvesting football players.
Origin Brewing.
The Hilton family is nothing to do with this combine.
All right.
Sadly. Because they do good work.
Sure do.
But this is where they do the 40, the standing, the sitting reach, the high, all these. They're just basically poking and prodding these guys. And it matters in the NFL. Unlike the NHL combine, which is a complete waste of time typically. Ride the bike, do a chin-up. What does that have to do with hockey? Nothing. These guys do have to run in football. So measuring how quickly they run, very important. Now, this is a 366-pound defensive lineman. Hang on, whoa. Tavondre Sweat.
Let's go Tavondre.
Now, that's a handle. And this is a large human. 366 pounds.
Called that. I think they moved to the SEC. Pretty sure you're going to get simulcast.
Imagine that coming at you. 5'2" for a 366-pounder. And some of the there was a linebacker that had a 4.42 yesterday. I don't think the running backs have gone yet, but
I feel like if that's long, he's gaining speed. He's just finally getting up. He's getting her going.
Like remarkable, the size of to move that quickly.
Boy, Tavondre.
And we're into combine season, so of course Jack's already doing some draft research for the Steelers. They got you on payroll. You're doing this volunteer. I know you've been watching combine results for the Steelers.
Volunteer. They're taking a center.
Center. Okay. Yeah. Well, and you were big on Chase Claypool. He was awesome at the combine. He's been awful at football. Usually, if you're good at the combine, you're good at football.
Well, they got what they needed out of that.
That's
guy.
true.
Great rookie year. Trade him for a 1st-round pick.
Worked out well in hindsight. Speaking of Jack, saw this, immediately sent it to Jack. I'm not going to say why, but here's El Tigre. Tiger. You know what? You got a granola bar there, Tiger? I know you're a big health nut. Oh, don't do it. Oh, up. Oh, Tiger.
Guys are loving these things, eh?
It's I don't want any free plugs, but
have you got one in?
I feel like they got some marketing dollars available just on the popularity.
No, I don't have one in on the job. No.
What's on the
in on the job?
Look at that.
I know it's sitting right there.
Come on, tell me that.
No, I would never do that at the workplace. That was that time.
So.
Shut up.
HR policy. Now, remember yesterday when we had the guy that did the AI t-shirts for the Pinder Report?
I do, yeah.
They were awesome. You had one complaint. You said, you know what would make it better? The crocodile.
Oh yeah, because he was doing the Pinder Report.
He had like a bunch of news and he was standing up. He's
wearing
well
like a
dressed.
suit jacket and
He's
glasses. He was very
delivering the Pinder Report.
professional
Yeah,
doing
the
the Pinder
report.
Report. I said, well, if it was for the Pinder Report, the Croc should have a mullet because, you know, it would just make sense. Well, there it is. That took 24 hours. Okay, well done.
Probably less.
Yeah.
It is.
You know what it is?
It's remarkable.
Now, I do like the suit. I was going to say, do you need, or should it be like a Hawaiian shirt? Or
Well, Friday.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
if you wanted to for next Friday.
just giving this guy work.
No, seriously.
Smart
When
ass.
can we start selling these? Like, this is unbelievable. I like the collector of
Right?
the jackets. You're correct, Dean. Legs shouldn't bend that way.
It's official.
And
Yeah.
look at the mullet from the front. That is a horrible, brilliant part.
Yeah.
And look at this. Welcome to Bar Burner, where it's Kuzmakov time all the time. Retro's looking sharp. He's got with something close to a tuxedo top there.
Yeah.
I'm doing a high kick of sorts with the shades.
Yeah.
Love that. Those are the Wolverine shades, by the way. I've stolen. I've appropriated them. And then Dino,
They really
I
are.
did have a complaint here. I immediately sent him feedback. I said, everything's perfect except one thing is not to scale.
The calves.
Your calves are
Yeah,
way too
thanks.
small.
That's
It needs to look like he's smuggling coconuts under his skin behind his shins. That is when we'll know AI has figured you out.
They're pretty good.
I need that shirt. Can we show that again, Jack? That is unbelievable. How is this
The
not a shirt? we're
Kuzmakov?
selling? Yeah, well, I mean, just the cartoons. That is us.
Is this all the same guy or is this multiple people?
This is the
sending
same
in
guy.
there?
I don't know. And like never heard of him before yesterday. And now he's look at all the gear he's sending us. That and there's a burning barn. Like
He's got a burning barn.
come
Yeah.
on. That is sensational.
It's good work.
Yeah.
That is
Get this guy a payroll.
that's a freaking great shirt.
That makes me happy.
Yeah.
Now it's the weekend.
Oh,
I had a really, really strong urge to break our no rat policy that we enacted on Tuesday. But I'm holding strong because I've found lots of other good things.
mhm.
But before the Pinder Report, I feel like it's a good idea to just get lots of protein, load up, and you need some sustenance heading in. So let's go to this young lady in the Bugs Bunny. Looks like she's going to be making a dish from like one of those cooking videos, Jack.
So it's a bowl full of raw eggs.
2, 3,
No.
5, 6. Oh, there's a little left from room 5. There's 5 again. 7, 8, 9. This is over a dozen, Dean. Dino, look. You're missing the best part. Did you see the guy's hat in the background? He's got Shrek ears. Look.
That's great.
Look,
I'm
Dean.
not looking.
What do you mean you're not looking? Oh, that's good. Oh, Dean. Okay, it's done. Now we're ready for the Pinder Report. Whoo! Dean, how do you like bees? Roll the tape, Jack.
Just
Stand still. Stand still. Stand still. Stand still. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, well, guess what you're going to find
Yeah,
out.
they're doing that.
Oh my gosh, there's so many bees.
Is that RJ?
It's RJ.
There's so many bees.
There's a lot of bees.
So many bees.
Again, Australia, Dean. I think. Maybe that's New Zealand.
Well, now he's doing what he told them
Yeah,
not
don't
to
do it. Don't do it. Okay, I'm doing it too. It was nice of him to stay and be the sacrificial lamb, though. He takes a fall there. Ooh, a lot of bees. Okay. Now, is it true that bees, like, they sense fear and that's when they attack? Because sometimes they're just, people have no problem with bees.
Again, I feel like if you provoke them,
That's right.
it's F around, find out. They're finding out.
So if unprovoked, bees won't attack is the hypothesis.
what we're thinking.
Okay, let's test that theory. Here we go. More bees.
I'm very sorry.
No, look, she's calm as can be. What are you doing?
可以当小零食试试的蜂蜜哦，妈妈会新鲜。有没有就说鼻子有炎炎的？有咽什么炎的？口腔有什么会什么炎的？
That concludes the B portion of the Pinder Report.
Jack.
And moving from bees, we go alphabetically to crocodiles. Let's go, Jack. Now, this again is the fuck around to find out thing. This is some sort of don't mess with the oh, see? Look what you've done. That's your hand. Yeah, someone's wife is not proud of their behavior. And see, look, Alier's not even trying to eat him. He's just like, just leave me alone, you dick tree. What are you doing?
Could you not?
Yes, this is my house, not your house. I live in this little crack here by the water. Don't bother the crocodiles. They're not sympathetic. They just want to be left alone.
I understand. I'm not happy with you.
With that guy with the crocodile. I know. Now, I don't know does Rhett's old man have like steers or bulls? Do you have any cattle?
No.
No. So this isn't him.
This is not him.
Okay. Because someone was practicing their lassoing here. Now, is that a steer? That's not quite a bull. What are we looking at here? You know what, old man? I'm done with you.
Really?
Really?
Now, what was his name? Because I remember we played that one.
This one?
Yes.
No.
I put this in the off-season.
Really?
God damn it.
Brian or whatever.
God damn it, Brian.
Yeah.
You did say a name in that. Let's listen one more time.
Yeah.
Stupid vacuum trucks outside.
Really?
It's Frank or Brian.
God damn it, Frank.
Like they have a nice relationship.
Ups and downs.
But just don't lasso me around the head.
Now, it looks like a couple people outside of establishment knew they weren't going to drive, but someone else decided to take the keys. This is not good. They're in a parking lot. Don't mess around. No, get back here in my car. Excuse me. That's not good. Don't do that, people.
Gonna have to buff that out.
We go to the Australian portion of the program.
You know what it is that you take such pleasure in this. Like, look at you. Is there anything that brings you more pleasure at this point in your life?
Then,
like, you have 2 kids, but I know how you feel about those kids. They drive you crazy more
decent,
often than not. But when you do the Flames, and here's a look at the inverse standings, and the Leafs made a trade. Ilya Lyubushkin, whoever the fuck that is, and this, and then all right, and now it's taught you get like the energy just goes up.
Yes,
almost tangibly when you get into this stuff.
It makes me happy to watch you square them, because again,
I am never coming in here.
A wise man once told me, maybe just stick with the dumb shit and no sports. That man's name? Boomer. Somebody's old man got jumped by a kangaroo in Australia. Let's have a watch. See, sometimes they're nice and other. Look, this guy knows he's in one. He comes hightailing it around the corner.
And he's not done. Look at him.
No.
What a jerk.
And this he's not messing around. He's swinging here. He's like, this little bastard is coming at me. That's a good size roo. Look at him. He's standing up tall. He's over 6 feet there. No sweat.
There is no podcast or program anywhere online or on terrestrial media that has more kangaroo content than
look
we
at him
do.
hightailing it around the corner.
How do we have how is this so much kangaroo stuff?
I don't know where, and it's weird. It comes in waves. We didn't have any crocodiles for last week. We're on a heater with crocodiles. People being idiots with crocodiles.
I think
we had a rat segment for about a week. Now we're done with rats, apparently.
We need to do like a second show.
Yeah.
We'll do Barn Burner, and then you can do this.
Yeah,
this
it's called
stuff.
Dean Tries Not to Puke. That's the name of the show. You're going to be on it, right? We have Aussie Brad on the show, and we know he's from Australia, hence the name, and he's a big Flames fan. I didn't realize there was an Oilers Nation equivalent.
So you, again, bucket tipping. You kind of went poking the bear here to get a reaction.
No. So let's go up to Edmonton, where I guess this is the guy with the hole punches in his ears is from Australia. Let's have it. He loves the Oilers. Let's
like,
hear.
I plan days. I plan weekends around Oilers games.
Oh, yeah.
And that's mostly because of like the community. Like I'm sitting at home alone watching games at like 1 p.m.
Oh yeah.
But I jump on Twitter and I've got like, you know, a few hundred Oilers fans like watching right there along with me. And like, if it wasn't for this community, the Oilers would have ended up being another one of those teams that I just check the scores at the end of the day and like, oh, good on them, like whatever.
Yeah, it's romantic.
That's so nice.
So I reached out to Ozzy Brad. And
Where's
said,
a crocodile when you need him?
Is this your boy, Ozzy Brad?
So you asked our guy.
Yeah, I just said, look, like this guy's from Australia. He came out to a game. Maybe we could do the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know this guy? You could share some. Like,
I'm sure he
travel
appreciated
information.
that. Hey, is this your guy?
And so Ozzy Brad sent us a little something.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Boom, boom. Pinder, retro. Hat on, boys. Got Kipper up here. Look at him. Fucking beautiful. Fucking great to see the big fella back in town, fellas. Now, I've had something come across me fucking desk this week. There's these fucking dog cunts. I don't know where he's from. Fucking, he's an Aussie cunt. He's up in Edmonton. Now, this cunt has started getting on this fucking, whatever they fucking do, a YouTube video or some shit. This cunt, oh, fucking, I just love Edmonton. Oh, fuck, I'm stuck in Australia. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I plan my whole fucking life around Edmonton Oilers hockey. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, cunt, on a fucking Tuesday. Go get a fucking job, you homeless cunt. And then here you are. Oh, I get on Twitter, and fucking the Twitter, it feels like a community. Fucking, just because they fucking relate to you, mate, they don't have a job. They're dead cunts. They're fucking useless cunts. They've got Gretzky Avenue, or fucking Drive, or whatever the fuck it is in what? West Edmonton Mall. Fuck you, West Edmonton Mall. You're a bunch of fucking dead cunts up there, and you fucking sued it too, mate. Take that fucking stupid puck out of your ear, and get a fucking job, mate. Too much fucking anger, I know, but Kipper, boys, I'm fucking pumped for Kipper weekend. I wish I could be up there, fellas. But boom, I'm telling you, it's going to be a great night. We've got to make sure the boys lay the hammer down. Retro, we need some stories after the weekend. I'm fucking loving it, boys. Kipper, bang, and boom, boom. Fucking keep punching my away.
Watch it, buddy. Jesus. No,
So they didn't know each other.
Full disclosure. No, they're not tight.
No.
Oh, weird. Full disclosure, Jack gets the clip, and I hadn't seen it till just now. He says, this might be the best one yet. And then Pinder
Everyone
says,
he sent
we
us.
say this after every Aussie, Brad.
It's the best one he's ever sent. It gets better every time.
He's, you know what? You know me. I don't like a lot of people.
Oh,
He's in my top 10 humans on the planet.
you hate humans, and you love this
Top
guy.
10. Never
Yeah.
met him. We had him on the Christmas show in these clips. One of my top 10.
So
Maybe we're talking top 5, and I've got 3 kids and a wife.
Christmas show, I don't even know if he knew it was happening. We call him out of the blue, and it's like 7 a.m. there tomorrow, and immediately sees what's happening, goes right to the fridge and cracks a beer and starts ripping it up. What a beauty.
1 o'clock in the afternoon. How about getting a job?
Yo, homeless. See you next Tuesday. Jeez.
Now, again, full disclosure.
Oh,
We do have a lady in studio right now.
is that right?
Yeah.
Well, that's a term of endearment in Australia. Kind of.
Awkward.
Yeah. North America's a little different. So the other Aussie guy in Edmonton somehow got up there. Next year, if we do anything, and I mean anything with this show, it has to be Aussie Brad comes to Calgary.
Yeah. Yeah. There needs
If
to
we
be.
have to do a GoFundMe, or we'll get Casey from Greta to fuel up the private jet, something. We'll make it happen.
Yeah. Yes.
He's too amazing to not get out here. It feels like it's too late in this year. We need him next year.
Well, and how did it work? Because Hordichuk went and met him, right?
Yeah, because Australia had the preseason.
That's
games. The
right.
Kings and Coyotes went over, and the games were in Melbourne.
And Hordichuk is another one of our guys. He's a complete beauty.
Yes.
He goes down there's like, oh yeah, this guy's awesome. They said this. Oh, they're having a beer.
Yeah.
Loving life.
Unreal.
Wow. With the hockey pucks in the ears. How about you get a job? Not on the show, but I do need to see that again at least 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, that's you can revisit that on YouTube.
I'll do it off the.
I was thinking like we could literally make a best of Aussie Brad. We'd probably be at about a half hour.
I was gonna say you need a
20
day.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That's how you Friday Pinder report it right there, friends.
Brought to you by Village Honda. New in-stock inventory on the ground. And, of course, pre-owned selection. How about 90 units on site, 500 more within the dealership group. Makes Village Honda your one-stop automotive destination in Calgary. They are worth the trip. Village Honda, located in the Northwest Auto Mall. Well, I'm glad you ended with that.
Yeah, it's just
because I was not pleased prior to that.
It was eggs, bees, crocodile, steer, car crash, kangaroo fight, and then that. Pretty good day. The t-shirt side, we got to get the t-shirts.
That's great, but the bees and eggs,
which was the worst?
Is that
first or the second bees?
Is that it? I don't even know where. Is it just? It's not really entertainment.
Oh, it's wildly entertaining.
It's just to make me uncomfortable, right?
Our in-studio guests, they were dying. They loved it.
Yeah, gross.
Mm-hmm.
What was worse, the sea bombs or the?
I think the bees are bad. The eggs were gross. Crocodile biting your hands, probably not great.
Guests in studio from Virginia came up to enjoy Calgary at the best time of year.
Yeah, go in Feb.
Definitely go in February. Yeah. But they've been doing, it's kind of been the barn burner tour.
Okay.
Went to Mad Rose Pub.
Come on.
Got to do it. We hear about Mad Rose Pub on the show. Got to do it. They went there.
Did you get the wheel? Was it get the pie?
What did you have? Wings.
Yeah,
baked and fried them baked. Mad Rose Pub in Royal Oak, 20 beers on tap, kid friendly, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It's not your run-of-the-mill bar food here. It's burgers, it's pasta, it's steaks, full entrees, and some of the best pizza you're going to find in the city. Gourmet pizza, dough, signature sauce made fresh every day. Today is Friday. Fish and chaps is the special of the day. Visit their website to check out the menu, to check out all the specials. Maybe you want to have a little bit delivered to your door. You can do that too. Madrose.pub, 15 Royal Vista Place. One of our favorite spots in the entire city. Great food. Overdue for a visit. For sure overdue for a visit.
That War Wonton. I mean, talk about a range you can get at a pub, you're telling me? Yeah.
See, now I feel like I brought it back around. You were gross, and now I'm telling you about the gourmet pizza and the steaks.
You're the good guy. I'm the heel.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's obvious.
What's the good guy?
You.
No, but you used heel. So in the wrestling vernacular, it'd be,
I don't know, but it's kayfabe when you're
he's
not
showing
pretending anymore. Oh, at the face.
That's right.
Whew, that was close. I almost said nose. Okay.
Yeah, you did.
It's pointing like this.
Yes, the nose and the heel.
Face and heel. Okay.
Yep. There you go.
Down.
There you go.
Face and heel.
So are you going to the game Saturday? Of course you're.
Now, I'm not, let's go to the game rah. But this goes right back to the time in my life when I was, let's go to the game rah.
Right.
This is right into the old fields department. Mika Kiprusoff completely changed the trajectory of this franchise. It can't be overstated what he meant to this team. You could literally go down that path of maybe Calgary doesn't have a team if, and that might be a bit extreme, but remember how dark it was before Mika arrived. 7 years in a row with no playoffs. Like just awful, awful. And it all changed. The first game he played, it all changed.
And I'm sure it can't be the case, but it feels like the case. I'm sure when a whole bunch of players, and you see what the 89 group and that, guys come back and all of that. Oh, so-and-so's back in town. Everybody loves Kipper.
Yes.
Those guys in that locker room. And I guess when a guy comes in and you win and he's a guy who likes to have a good time and he'll drink and smoke, of course you're going to, this one, it just does. It feels very different and extra special because the league, it's not about the league. It's about the Flames. It's Flames fans who are here in the city and that follow the team. I shouldn't even say city, but like Aussie Brad, right? It's for
if you're a Flames fan
that were dialed into the team. And no, they didn't win, but it was an amazing time. And the players, they all love this guy. And it's not always the case where a locker room loves everybody.
And again, personality aside, just the respect they'd have for Kipper. Like, how many games did they win over those 7 years where he won 70 games or more? They had no business winning.
Yeah,
it felt like once
70,
every 2
right?
weeks.
Yeah. 70 starts.
They knew how important this guy was, and then he happens to be the biggest beauty ever. How do you not love this guy?
And the other thing is, too, you would see in the room, there's no way you can play that much hockey and be 100% healthy.
Right.
You're making 70 starts and you got injuries and it's nagging and they're seeing how the work he puts in. We talked to Noodles about all the before and after and all that stuff. So yeah, just please don't make an ass that just Please.
There is a bit of concern because the doors are at 5.
I know.
And
This
the
is
puck
why I
drops
bring
at
it up.
8. And then Dutton's doesn't close till.
Because I already got one of my co-hosts on the ice. I don't need 2.
He's talking about.
Got it?
He's talking about shades for the ceremony. That would tell a story.
And you too, Jack, you idiot.
Well, he's been wearing Penguin skiers. Don't embarrass the show.
Behave yourself.
If there's any like Kiprusoff sucks chance or anything like that, you're gonna get one.
That was kind of neat seeing Pinder and Rhett on the ice the other night.
No. And just really quickly back to the numbers.
Really,
This will be the 4th number that's gone up there. They did the special thing for Al McInnes and Joe Nieuwendyk, which is great. It's not quite this. They've made another layer. I don't know if you love it or hate it, but there's 4 that stand separately. The greatest player in franchise history, and 3 of the most dynamic personalities that happen to be great players as well. Mike Vernon, huge personality, a person you could never forget. Lanny McDonald. You can't meet the guy and not be blown over by how incredible a human he is. And Mika Kiprusoff, who's the best goalie in franchise history. And again, one of those one-of-a-kind personalities as well. It's not just you were great. They had lots of great players on that 89 team. You need some longevity as well. But these are people that have affected this city, not just they were good at the sport.
I wonder, because you got 2 goalies there. I wonder how many teams would have that few retired numbers and that many goalies.
And it makes sense. They don't win 89 without Vernie.
I don't like the Forever a Flame.
No,
I'm not sure whose idea it was. I hope that they make that right sometime.
Yeah.
And you bring both of those guys back and do it. I don't know that you do it. You can have a ceremony.
Well,
and
people are wearing those numbers since too. Like Markstrom's wearing Joe Nieuwendyk here for year 4. Like, what are we doing, guys?
Come on, guys. Anyway.
And look, like the elephant in the room is Theo Fleury. He belongs up there. And for whatever reason, Flames ownership and Theo haven't been on the same page about that. It will happen at some point. I just don't know that it's in anytime soon.
It doesn't feel anytime soon.
No.
No one has worn 14 since.
Which tells you
so
something.
it's, yeah. But for what the player did in a Flames jersey, it's kind of undeniable, it would seem.
100%. And a guy that carried the flag for this team proudly. And I mean, geez, you hear the guy's story. How do you not root for the guy? You kidding me?
I'm hopeful.
Jeez. Well, put him up there. Come on.
Maybe maybe it's because we could be good at that, right? Bringing people together,
building bridges,
mending some fences and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Maybe we're the ones for that. Or maybe not.
Yeah.
Do you like bees?
Don't just stay calm.
Let's take a look. Let's go inside the Great Clips inbox. Great Clips, more than 4,400 hair salons throughout the US and Canada. Great Clips, world's largest hair salon. Maybe that's where Retro went.
Yeah.
Official hair salon of the National Hockey League. Salons are locally owned and operated. They're open 7 days a week. They know that your time is valuable.
So Rhett wasn't waiting there all day?
No. You get the Great Clips check-in app.
Okay.
You can see, okay, at this location, it's 25 minutes. Oh, here it's 10 minutes. Okay.
Perfect. I'll be there in 10.
You get yourself in line without even being there. You can opt in to receive a Ready Next text alert by checking a box. They'll notify you, ding dong, on your phone. That's what it says.
It says ding dong? Okay.
Yeah. When you're 15 minutes out and it's time to head to the salon. Why listen to me about it? Go to the website, greatclips.com. Get the app on your phone. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
You did look good, and it did look great.
Inside the Great Clips inbox. Good day, gents. This is from Dr. Sean. That's okay.
See anyone else cringe when it's like a doctor or a lawyer, someone fancy?
Well, no, this is a guy trying to.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah,
I apologize.
So you're embarrassed that professional people, like real, life success stories,
not schlubs like us.
Good day, gents. This doesn't belong in this inbox, but I didn't know where else to send it. I see and hear Boomer struggling with his eyeballs all the time. Thursday, you mentioned that you were done with the place you've been going to. If you're interested in having one of the buddies taking a peek, hit me up and perhaps we could arrange something. So that's Dr. Sean. I only bring this up because yesterday left the show.
Yep.
And it all kind of came together. It was like an event. I went to Costco, of course.
2-banger.
I can't do the 2-banger anymore.
Single banger.
Single banger.
Okay.
And a sundae. Oh, the ice cream at Costco is so friggin' good.
Soft serve?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, caramel sundae. So I go to Costco. I do have to get some stuff.
Yeah.
But as I'm in there, I'm getting the headache. I had to leave Costco because
The
my
lights?
because my eyes were hurting.
And your sunglasses on? Or you
No,
left in the
no,
car?
I just whatever it was. It's like, oh man, I don't feel. And then I saw Sean, so I might have to get something done.
Yes, talk to Sean.
I know what it is. Like I went and Googled yesterday because I feel
There's
like
a condition that you've got.
it's a something. It's a glaucoma. Not ideal.
T's and P's, buddy.
Appreciate it, but I mean, it's got to be bad when I'm leaving the Costco. God damn
I
it.
was gonna say you moaning about stuff's nothing new, but
That's
geez,
me
you left
bitching.
Costco.
Got
Whoa,
plenty of that.
that's heavy.
This is from Steve in the Great Clips inbox. Morning, gents. I've enjoyed listening to the three of you for over 10 years. Still miss Artist of the Day.
It
Feels. Quick background. After almost 40 years in Calgary raising 3 daughters, my wife and I moved to St. Albert. Yes, closer to the Arctic Circle 7 years ago for work. However, I represent the red proudly up here and deal with the abuse. Thought you'd enjoy seeing the photos attached. A friend of ours was working with the wife of this player, as he has retired and is now living in St. Albert also. I have not yet met the great man, but he did send this gift to me via his wife. I remember sitting in the Saddle Dome in 2015 attending the evening draw of the Brier while watching the Flames Boston game on my phone when the Schlemcat scored his only goal for the Flames in the shootout for the win. And there's a couple photos there that he's got the autographed Schlemcat card.
Love this.
How about it?
Do you remember where you were for that shootout move, which was insane, by the way?
I remember it, obviously, but I don't remember where
I was in a pub in Glenmore Landing, and it was like the Schlemcat had arrived.
Totally.
Do the Schlemcat.
Do the Schlemcat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there he is. Short, very short lived, but again, kind of like Commodore.
Yeah.
And this here,
Oh, wow.
he has, also included a photo of my favorite jersey. I wore to 9 straight playoff games in the 04 run, sitting in the press level seats so high up, I never saw the Jelinek goal. Keep us laughing. We're moving back soon. That is from Steve.
Steve.
Appreciate
That's
you,
great
Steve.
news.
There you go. Got the 04 crest
I
on
hope
there.
they're paying him well to be up there with those
It's not
donkeys.
ideal, yeah.
Oh.
It's not great. This is from where is it here? It just moved on me. This is from Daryl. Yeah. Have you ever put butter on a Pop-Tart? I've not put butter on. You know what? I've never had a Pop-Tart.
What? No.
Honest.
You're gonna love them.
I don't think I am.
Why?
I don't there's nothing there that
Do you like baked goods?
not out of a toaster. Like I don't like an
don't-
Eggo or
No,
it's
not like an Eggo. I just like
really?
you got to try. We're gonna do it on the show. Jack, write that down. We're doing it on the show. He's eating a Pop-Tart.
Mm.
It must be now, but just summer. Lots of time to fill.
This is more of a. I'm a little behind because I had to watch Brad twice, but GoFundMe. I'll kick in some dough to bring Aussie Brad to YYC.
I think we're onto something. Man.
Yeah, it's something.
Think of all the joy he's brought us over the last 8 months or so. Everyone kick in a 20. We probably got we don't have to put him first class, but maybe a little extra leg room on the
I know.
flight over. Hey?
This came in on another okay, there we go. Thank you. On a different email. Fellas, my neighbor wears his shorts and Crocs year round and thinks it's super cool. What do? I don't know what the.
I would just point to Winnipeg on a map and tell him that's where his people are. Remember that guy that wouldn't put on pants until
the Bombers won the cup or something.
Great Cup. It was like 25 years he hadn't worn pants.
I've never really understood it.
Yeah. One of my kids might be one of these wearing shorts in the winter, people.
Really?
Comes out of school -10. It's a badge of honor. Gloves, hoodie, jacket in his backpack, t-shirt. No, Dad, I'll be too hot if I put that on.
Is this the one I think it is? Because you
Okay,
have
son.
two. Is it the one that?
It's not the orange jumpsuit. It's more
Okay.
yeah.
Because it was orange jumpsuit. You got the call about the thing.
No, that was this
Was
cat
it?
as well.
Really?
Yeah. It's an emergency.
Well, that'll be summer shows. We can dig into that.
My God.
This one just says, "What is grok?"
Grok.
And I didn't know what it was, but is this the Elon thing with Twitter X? There's I don't.
Jack,
Do you know what it
you're
is?
Grok?
GROK.
Is it related to
When you go, I think when you go on the Twitter,
yeah,
the
there's
X,
a new button in the
it's
middle.
on
isn't
your
there?
thing and
It's
on
AI. It's the AI thing. That's what it is.
the grok.
Yeah, I'm gonna open up and right down the middle bottom. I think there's grok.
So clearly we're
Yeah, grok something.
grok something.
Grok. AI. Hi, I'm Grok, a humble AI assistant. I'm here to help you navigate the mysteries of the universe and answer any questions you might have.
Well, there you go. So now you know it's an AI thing.
Is Grok making our t-shirts? Is Grok going to want
maybe
some licensing money from us if
a
we
little bit
take those to market?
This one also came in on not on the Great Clips inbox, which again, you can use that email, greatclipsinbox@flamesnation.ca.
It's very easy.
What do we call ourselves? Barn animals, barnimals, barn buddies, barneys? What?
Burners is kind of taken. I like the idea of burners, but what is that? Burning Man's the big crazy festival
I don't
where
know.
everyone does drugs and hangs out in the desert. If you call yourself a burner, that's what they think you're talking
about. Now, barnimals, barneys, I don't know.
The barn animals kind of has a nice ring to it because
is it like tight enough? Is it too wordy? Is it too long?
Let's just start it there, and if people want to tighten it up, they will.
So you can be a barn animal. I feel like it's
Barney. It's kind of like a carny.
Yeah. Somebody here Ken says he's going with Barney's.
Okay, Barney's fine by me.
Barney's.
The burners just isn't going to work. They think
No.
you're talking about something else.
That's right.
And that's Ken who keeps encouraging you to do things with Frank's jacket that are entirely
Ken,
inappropriate.
just stop it, all right?
You got to give it up, Ken. It's been weeks of this nonsense.
Yeah, just settle down.
Stop it.
And finally, I kept this one for last on the inbox because there's no beating this one. This is from Travis. Morning, gents. I would like to tell my wife's story about Mr. Kiprasov. She used to work at a hotel in Edmonton where opposing players would stay when the Oilers were still in the old stadium. One night when the Flames were in town, she was working the front desk, got a call from one of the players' rooms. The gentleman stated that the phone in his room wasn't working, the same phone he was calling her on.
Right.
She headed up to the room with a new phone to hook up. She knocked on the door. Door opens. It was Mika Kiprasov who answered, wearing nothing but pink ladies' underwear. He told her with a grin on his face that his phone wouldn't work. So she promptly went to change it for the new one while he tried not to crack up while the joke was going on. He said, thank you. She left, and I'm sure whoever put him up to it had a great laugh. Someone made some money. Love Kipper. Can't wait for the number to go up on Saturday. That's from Travis.
I'd love to call BS on that.
You can't. Yeah, you believe it 99%.
Excuse me, my phone is not working.
My phone.
I'm in room 1212. I need a new phone.
Hi, my phone isn't working. Are you on the phone right now, sir?
Yes, this phone is not working.
Yes, I believe it's not working. All right. We'll get you a new one. So do you think it was like a two-piece kind of deal? Or?
I think it's silk, whatever it is. A little frilly on the outside.
Yeah. So that'll do it. There you go. That's
probably,
That's the Great Clips inbox. Any questions, offside or not, apparently can come through at greatclipsinbox@flamesnation.ca. And yes, it's for Great Clips. Use that Great Clips check-in app. If you want, you opt in for that Ready Next text alert. It'll let you know where you're at in the online waiting process. 7 days a week, locally owned and operated. It's Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Yeah, not much of a filter on that inbox. Everything just comes in.
Everything comes in.
Doesn't clear out the nonsense.
Yeah, this is the filter here.
Yeah, you're fine then. Anything gets in.
This is the filter right here. Delicious. Want to mention, because I don't know what the end date is on this, but I would suggest doing it before, because it's a limited time deal. We've been telling you about Douglas mattress.
Ooh.
We both have brand new Douglas mattress at home. Big believers. I told the story before. Tell it again. First night, my wife said, "Oh, I kind of like our bed. I don't know what's."
Why are we doing this?
Gotta try it. Tried the new bed. First night, she's like, "Yeah, you can get rid of the old mattress."
Where do we take old mattresses anyway?
Great. Named Canada's best mattress on Canadian living, loved by more than 200,000 Canadians, over 10,000 5-star reviews. Sleeps cool, motion isolation, firmness yet comfortable. The industry-leading risk-free trial. You try it, you don't like it, you have 365 nights to decide if you don't like it.
It's a lot.
If you don't, full refund, no questions asked. Douglas donates these mattresses to local charities, so it's not a win-win, but it's not like they're,
you're not going to send
it's
it
a
back.
good it's a nice purpose behind all of it. And if you go to douglas.ca/FlamesNation and you order your mattress, every mattress order comes with a free Comfort Sleep bundle. That's 2 memory foam pillows with pillow protectors, a luxurious cotton sheet set, and a mattress protector. This is it's like $650 for this. It's free when you order your mattress now, but you have to use douglas.ca/FlamesNation. They're made proudly right here in Calgary, ensuring the highest quality materials. It shows up at your door, comes in a big box. You bring the thing inside. It's all vacuum sealed. Open it up. It's at full.
I thought it was take hours. It was right there. Like,
yeah,
boom,
like a
fine.
minute
Yeah.
tops. We're believers. You would be too. Join one of the 200,000 plus Canadians that love their Douglas mattress. And again, get that free comfort bundle now, limited time, douglas.ca/FlamesNation.
Calgary, man. That's a cool story, man.
I like it.
Love it.
Dig it. Can you dig it, sucker? Betway bets.
Yep.
Little Betway bets and some DoorDash.
Just
And
3 non-Flames games tonight.
Mhm.
If
So
you add in the Flames, 3 in
games.
total.
Yeah, 3 total games. Where am I going on mine? We get into it here with the bet. We gotta get the Betway app on your phone. It's all about on your phone.
Not too
Great clips. Get it on your phone. Betway, get it on your phone.
Let's go.
Official gaming partner of Barn Burner and Afterburner. Arizona at Ottawa. We mentioned the Coyotes. They've lost 14 straight games. Tonight would be 50, and if they cannot win in Kanata,
will be 15.
Normie's boy Drake Batherson. He has goals in each of his last 3 games. I'm going to say, let's go, Normie Jr. Batherson, anytime goal, plus 200.
That's a handle, Drake, eh?
Yeah, it is. One of the other games tonight, and there are so many. Tyson Forster, starting to come into his own. Is this guy a bit of a bust? Is he a disappointment? Isn't it? Scott, what is it now? 7 goals in his last 7 games, 4 in his last 3. He's on a heater, much like Batherson, trying to strike while it's hot. Let's go. Anytime goal, Forster, also plus 200. So looking for that tonight.
Destroy Jack for his spelling. That is how Forster is spelled.
I know.
Well done, Jack. I did have to double check the track record. You can't ignore.
Yeah.
So you're riding the hot hands. I like it.
Trying.
I'm also going to go against Arizona here. Ottawa -1.5 plus 115. Yotes have lost 14 in a row, as noted. 8 of those have been by 2 or more. Like my odds here. Plus number for that. And Brady Tkachuk, 2 points plus 225. Again, Zona's just been dog shirt. So we're going to try to ride the Senators tonight in one of those 3 NHL games for Betway.
There you go. How about it? Get that Betway app on your phone. Get on your desk, wherever you're doing your stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, tablet or whatever you want to do. Just get that Betway app and then bet the responsible way.
Please do.
But bet with Betway, like we do, because we're a couple cool cats over here. Be like us.
Yeah, you wear sunglasses inside and Hawaiian t-shirts to be really
yeah.
cool. All people will think you're popular.
Sure do.
Yeah.
Sure do. So tonight, maybe you're going to DoorDash. Maybe it feels like, Friday, we're not cooking tonight. We're taking the easy
Friday
way
feels
out.
like a great DoorDash day.
It really does. It does for me. I know. It feels big time DoorDashy for me. Restaurants, groceries, pharmacies, bakeries, flower shop, and more. We know all about it. We've been telling you about it. You know about DoorDash. It shows up at your door. It's just the best. It's the greatest thing going. You get on the app. What do you want? From where you want, whenever you want it. Boom. Doorstep. Thank you, DoorDash.
Perfect.
And for a limited time, you can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and put in that promo code NATION25. NATION25. What's on the menu for DoorDash?
A little NBA, a little Major League Baseball, a little NHL. Sampling of each. Best game of the night's got to be Philly, Washington. Flyers are trying to hold on to a playoff spot, and the Caps won't stop hanging around, Dino. Have you noticed that?
Well, yeah, I don't know what to make of the Caps.
I don't either. They looked like shit early on in the season, but
they're in, they're out.
Spencer Carberry, new head coach. Ovi was on a heater. He's cooled off again. They're not going away, though. Not yet, at least. So a good Metro Division matchup there. That's 5 o'clock. Basically, Evie Stevie. You got Philadelphia -115, Washington -105. NBA, Golden State Warriors are in Toronto. Steph Curry, remember his old man, used to play for
the Bullets.
The Raptors. So
Damn it.
Steph kind of coming home in a way, which is weird. People forget he had
Right.
Toronto roots. Dell was his old man. There's Dell and Drake. There's some good names.
Delicious.
Curry.
Curry? I'm not sure.
Not tonight?
Not tonight.
Okay. That's 5:30 start, and it is the Warriors favored by 3.5. And finally, we got Yankees. We got Blue Jays. This is a later one. They do this, the Yankees, to get a little more TV audience, maybe. 4:35 first pitch. That's an evening start, not an afternooner in Florida. And their complex is in Tampa Bay, if I'm correct. 4:35 Jays and Yankees. Yankees heavily favored because, well, all the home teams are in spring. That is what's on the menu.
There you go. It's DoorDash. Use the promo code Nation25 to kick in that deal of 25% off and 0 delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more. Dash that for the win with DoorDash. Somebody asked now, of course, Matthew Phillips, Bubba, Pittsburgh Penguins picked him up on waivers. Do we see Bubba on Saturday?
Has he been playing?
I'm not sure because where were they last? Vancouver. Where have they been doing?
Seattle.
Seattle.
Last night in Seattle, weren't they?
Yeah, I don't know. Pittsburgh. They brought in Phillips. They brought in Puljujarvi.
They're trying things.
They're trying things.
I don't know that any of it's working.
I don't think he's been in. They traded for Bemstrom and he's been playing.
Yeah, the guy from Columbus. If he gets 6 goals.
Amel? Is that who? Amel?
You did what?
Bemstrom? Amel Bemstrom?
Okay.
Emile? No, I don't think it's French. Back in my hometown, it was Emil Roller was the guy's name. He owned the Texaco station, had the tow truck in town.
This guy's from Nyköping, Sweden.
Bemstrom?
Mm-hmm.
Emil.
Sure.
Hey,
you tell me, man. I don't know.
So no Bubba is what you're saying?
No Bubba. Like he got 1 game in.
But they might play him here.
I was going to say, he is coming home. If there was a spot for Bubs, maybe it is here.
One goal this year.
Yeah, against the Flames. Against the Flames.
Yep.
Keep them hot.
Yep. What's Puljujarvi done?
Not
a lot, eh?
I mean, I still feel like he could be a guy, but God, it feels like it's got to be a really unique spot for him. He's a defense first guy.
That's weird.
Big and weird.
I just feel like this guy had all the tools. Is he big? Yep. Can he shoot it? Yep. Skate? Yep.
And the Oilers rightfully didn't want to sell low on him, but then the stock kept going lower, and they just took some dude that was never going to play back from her. Like, we're done here.
Yeah.
We're done. You're done here. Yeah, he's going to put up zeros here. Nothing. That's 8 games, nothing.
Doesn't seem to be working out.
+1.
Lady Bing and Selke.
Amel's taking his minutes, I think.
Watch your mouth. That'll do it. We're back on Monday.
Behave yourself on Saturday, would you?
Guess Rhett didn't get us a guest here in the second.
I'm sure he's just been bogged down.
He's probably been just grinding away. Hey, could you come? Hey, is there any chance we could get
work in the room? Yeah. It's hard to find someone available. But hey, look, it wasn't like he didn't bring us a bunch of great guests all week.
Yeah.
Never mind. He didn't actually bring us any guests this week.
Who am I bringing in on Thursday? If you bring yourself, that's even money.
He did bring himself in.
Yeah. Not today.
No.
But yesterday. Have a great weekend. Enjoy Kipper night. Please don't go on the ice.
I won't be on the ice.
Don't get in a fist fight with your Penguins jersey on.
I'm giving you a 100% Dutton's guarantee and a 0% ice guarantee.
Fair enough. I don't know about it. See you.
Shirts up for Kipper Soft. Let's go.